We are really in the final countdown, right? The part 2 information is very, very soon. So hopefully people stay optimistic. But let's just jump right into this. I think the meta has shifted. I have been a very avid, player of this game. And I mean, it's fun. It's repetitive at this point. I must admit, but it's definitely fun. Ultra Instinct Goku is definitely just the most dominant character in the game right now. So I guess I'll just start off with him. And throughout this list, I guess before I start this video, it's not really a list. This is more about the meta and who dominates it. There are certain characters that the meta literally revolves around, and then there's characters that are meta relevant, but you could do without them, right? But if we want to talk about just, the meta really just revolves around this guy, UI Goku is definitely just the most annoying character in the game. He is, evasive. He has just so much, right? Especially when you compare him to Evo Blue Vegeta, it's like, it's day and night, right? This Goku is doing so much, right? He has, I think the most annoying thing that this guy has, and let me know if you agree with me, but I think the most annoying and absurd thing is not really his auto gauge. It's not really his dodging mechanic. It's not even when he just gets free damage in by doing nothing, just sitting there. I think it's the fact that when you switch him, he gets 30% gauge. So when you come in, he can dodge, and then he has the green card, which is just like, why does he have that? Now, on top of that, this guy has endurance. And I think another thing that's really annoying is that even if you get the drop on Goku early, he can just transform and heal it back up, right? Not only that, let's say you really do a good job at catching him, he still got the endurance, and you've got, like, your Majin Vegeta, he does have endurance and nullification, but you still need to get the main ability, right? You still have to activate the blue card, right? Vegeta works a little bit different, but we'll talk about him a bit later in the video, because the meta is not really revolved around Vegeta. He is pretty solid though, right? He's definitely a meta relevant character, right? But this UI Goku, then he transforms, right? And he's just a god, like, literally, right? I mean, he can stall you, or he can go on the offensive, because a lot of players are afraid to go in. It's either like they're waiting. So if you see that they're just waiting on you to move, you rush them, you attack them, you bait out their vanish and stuff like that, and you could just sit there, right? And let's say you're going on for a while, right? This guy is probably like the best stall character in the game, right? Like, let's say there's 40 seconds left in the match and you only have UI Goku and one other character who's at like 30% HP. Dude, you could literally just stall your way to victory. Like, he just has so much, right? It's ridiculous, right? I'm interested in what they're gonna really drop for part 2. I don't want to say it's concerning. It's just worrying, right? Because it's like, people want part 2 to be better than part 1. And, people have a lot of opinions on part 1, but everyone who has UI, it's not even close. Like, he's lapping the best characters in the game himself, right? We're not going to talk too much about him, but he is one of the characters. There's 3 characters that are meta defining, right? There's 3. And I would say this guy is number 1. And I think number 2 is actually going to catch a lot of people off guard. But this is just from what I have seen. Honestly, maybe I should have started off the video doing this, because we can really just go through the characters now one by one. This is the second most meta defining character in the game right now. Now, a lot of people are probably going to be like, what? Not Super Saiyan 4 Goku? And from what I can tell, if you're playing PvP, of course, Daima is still very annoying, but there's definitely ways to get around Daima with probably the most dominant team in the game right now, which is Universe Reps, right? And, I mean, even though, Super Saiyan 4 Goku still has the last man standing, he gets the vanish, he has, the cover and all, like the cover change from Blast and, melee, like Majin Vegeta and his auto gauge and his counters and his blues and his green AoE, and he can lock you in, get you killed, get you gone. He just has ways to get around you. This character just essentially plays the game for you, just like UI Goku. I think UI Goku is slightly better. I think UI Goku plays the game a little bit more for you. And I think the craziest part about UI Goku, now that I mention it, is that it's like, if you saved up, and I'm not trying, like, you might have gotten unlucky, and I'm sorry to you, But if you're a free-to-play player, it's realistic that you have this UI Goku 9, 10 stars, right? Because they've given us, even though the content's been boring, they've given us a whole lot of free Chrono Crystals, right? If you've just been playing the game, easily over 20K already, easily, right, for free. And I have my UI Goku at 9 stars. I have Kellen Khalifa at 8 stars. I have Vegeta at 5 stars. But I just got Kaba again today, so he's at 7 stars. I wish it was Vegeta. I got Trunks in, and I was so excited. Like, yes, another copy of Vegeta, but it was Kaba, and I was pissed off. But we're not going to think about that. Let's just go to his arts. Yeah, this guy is ridiculous, right? The AoE green. Now, one thing a lot of people probably don't know, I guess you could say if you really are into the game, you know this, but the drop AoE green is just so dangerously good. Now, I do it a lot with my green Gohan, but he's not a meta-relevant character, right? He's very good, but he's not defining, right? You know, he's definitely not even on the top 10, right? That Ultra Gohan. But he's still really fucking valuable and good, right? But this Majin Vegeta, he just feels like a brick wall. And on top of it, it's like the free damage he gets. If he counters you, it's free damage. If you chuck a blast at him, it's free damage. I mean, it's like, oh my god. What do you do to counter Majin Vegeta? There's no real good... Ultra Cell. Everybody's going to say, well, Ultra Cell is the perfect counter. But UI Goku is everywhere. So with the coverage of Majin Vegeta and Ultra Instinct Goku, that's when it really gets annoying, right? So if you have this Majin Vegeta, big ups to you. You know how dominant Majin Vegeta really is. You know how annoying he is. He plays the game for you just like Ultra Instinct Goku, right? And, you know, I think the craziest thing about this character is that he's coming up on, you know, being in the game for a whole year. So let's just go to Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. It's really no surprise. And then we'll talk about, you know, the other units who are very... Okay, this was actually some random team I was training for, you know. I was trying to grind up, you know, those extra Chrono Crystals doing the event, you know, getting this guy Zenkai to awaken and stuff like that. But this Super Saiyan 4 Goku right here, God, is he still good. Yeah, he is still so good. Like, the days where I run Daima, I'm kicking ass. And PvP is just so easy. Even when you're going against universal reps, if you know what you're doing with Daima, if you know what you're doing with Ku, if you know what you're doing with Super Saiyan 3 Daima Vegeta, if you know what you're doing with Goku, it is a totally different experience from the bot Daima players who are just have Daima just to have Daima. If you know how to actually use Super Saiyan 4 Goku and utilize him to his best ability, he is still just maybe as good as Majin Vegeta. He's definitely better than Majin Vegeta. I think Majin Vegeta is just slightly more relevant right now in the meta, but Goku is definitely still a better character than Majin Vegeta, right? Even though I literally just, I mean, it's not even glaze. It's just the honest fucking truth. Like Majin Vegeta, he plays the... People are actually... It's weird with the Legends community because when people in the Legends community calls a character bad, it typically means they're good, right? Like, when they complain about a unit, it's because they're so good. Legends, it's so different being a Dokkan player because, like, we only complain about the characters who are trash. No, Legends complains about the overpowered characters, right? It's because it's a PvP experience, right? So if you know what you're doing with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you know how ridiculous he is. You know he has the sub-count manipulation. You know he has the last man standing, which is probably the most prevalent thing. You know he has the switching back and forth nonstop, the healing. I mean, if you're talking about running him with Ku and Vegeta, I mean, the covering all, the switching, everything just goes well, right, with this team. He actually has, not endurance, what is it called? Here, it's the indestructible, yeah. So when he has 2 Daima attack characters with him, you know, even if his health goes to 0, you still have this, and this is not cancelable, right? So he's always going to have this with 2 Daima characters, which really works well with Ku. I mean, you could do Tanagami. I think out of every other character, if it's like Ku and Majin Vegeta, I think they're stamped. But I think Tanagami 3 is probably the best Daima character. No, it might really be Green Goku. No, it's definitely going to be Green Goku. But Green Goku is really good. And he's a Zenkai character, of course, buffing this guy. And on as well Tanagami 3. I think Tanagami 3 and his just sealing the main constantly, sealing the rush constantly, the destruction of the Dragon Balls, all the things that these guys have. Okay, so right here is a list of the meta characters that I was speaking of. Majin Vegeta, UI Goku, Super Saiyan 4, Daima Goku. They're just unbelievably good. Now, I mean, as recent updates, you know, more and more time goes around, the characters in the meta is definitely going to shift, right? But I think Hit is so good right now with his platinum equipment. I mean, he's easily better than all of these guys, right? Like, Ultra Beast is really good. Zenkai Blue Goku that transforms into UI Goku, really good. God Goku, amazing. But Hit, oh my God. He is putting belt to ass when I see him. Right now, of course, I still, you know, I could put my 1-2 combo in. And, of course, the reason why Hit can't go up top is because, look, we have two blue characters that are just stomping him. Just stomping him, right? I mean, now, if Hit can catch you off guard and he can pop the green card and then he can time skip and then he can pop the main and get his, it's lights out, bro. It's almost like an instant kill for every character, right? With his platinum equipment. You have this guy at like 10 stars with that bro, he's very dominant, right? He's very good. I think the main issue with him before he got his equipment was like his defense. Like, he would die. He was pretty squishy. Like, if you caught him, you got him for real. But he's pretty defensive as well now, right? I don't know. He's a sneaky good option right now. Not even sneaky good, like really, really good, because he's a what do they call it? It's universe rivals, yeah, or rival universes or something like that. That tag right now is pretty good, right? But of course, this is not in any particular order of, you know, who's better than who's who. But I mean, Ultra Hit right now, I think, is better than all of these characters on the line with him. I think if I was really looking at the list, I would say probably God Goku and Ku would be above the blue Zenkai Goku. Beast Gohan as well. I think Kid Goku's really good. Honestly, this is, this is really good, I think, right? I guess if you really, really, really like wanted to convince me that you can move that DB Saga Goku up a little bit more. Like I said, this is not in any order from strength, right? Like, even though Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is, you know, down all the way down here, it's not to say that he's not better than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? And, you know, like Roshi, I mean, well, it's not Roshi. Jackie Chun is definitely not better than Cell. But right now, like, when it comes to relevancy, I think it's pretty neat, right? This is what you're going to see. Right, a lot of people are probably gonna underestimate that green Goku, but dude, on that top, like, if you're really good and you're like grinding PvP, you know how annoying it is that he gets how quickly he gets his rush. Right, he can lock you in, keep attacking you. He just gets cards. He gets his main ability really fast. He draws a green card and covering all. He's really solid. I don't know. Cool. I guess I'll talk about Ku right now, because Ku is probably, people are still salty at him for the paralysis meta, right? I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you have UI Goku nowadays, right? Or if you're running universe reps it's like a counter directly to Daima, right? It's a lot of ways to get rid of abnormal conditions. Now, Ku can still catch you off guard, no doubt. But Ku, I don't really see much of Ku, and you're definitely not going to see Ku. I see more of Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku off of the Daima team more than I see Ku nowadays, right? Like, seeing Ku is very rare. Now, Kellen Khalifa is actually different. Kellen Khalifa, you see her all the time, right? I see her all the time. Her disrupts, her 2 disrupts from Kel, the tag switch, is so annoying. How many times have you could have got the kill, then you get disrupted, and all of a sudden they're able to switch the tide of battle, right? And even if you catch them again, if they were able to switch before you can catch them, there's the second disrupt, right? So there's like, Ku was known for the disrupt, but Kel and Khalifa has the disrupt as well. It's just Ku has the paralysis, he has the feint, he has, you know, I think if you had to ask me what the better one, that's really why I'm comparing them right now. If you had to ask me who the better 1% sparking is, it's honestly gonna be Ku. But here's the thing, Kel and Khalifa is probably honestly right now more seen and more valued, right? But I mean, hey, I'm telling you, as soon as Daima content come out, you know who's still gonna be right there? Ku. He's gonna be right there. He's gonna be right there. I promise you. Don't let it be like a major support unit, right? Or, you know, another revival character, right? Like, oh, revival mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like, or, you know, Goma has indestructible or something like that and has like a domain or some new mechanic. I think I can stop talking about the meta relevant characters right now, and we could dip a little bit lower. Now, Evo Blue Vegeta, even though he's lower here, he's definitely better than a lot of these characters. I would say Evo Blue Vegeta is probably somewhere in the, like, where the S tier units are, but he's just, you're not gonna really run into him, right? Majin Vegeta's still a great counter. He's still a busted counter. You're still gonna run into Beast. You're gonna run into Ku. You're gonna run into UI Goku, who's just outright better in almost every way. I guess, no, combo potential. Vegeta, that's his one saving grace. Like, he's a combo. He is really a combo monster. Like, even when you thought you finally got him, you didn't, right? He's able to extend combos. He does have a unique gauge that's it's interesting, but it's not really a new mechanic. That's what I think part 2 is gearing up to be. I think we're just gonna see the new mechanics immediately, because they said, big news, make sure you tune in to the new Legends Limited information, or Legends info, right, for part 2. And I think they're just gonna drop a bombshell, you know, and it's gonna definitely have to be a new mechanic. If I had to put my money on it, I know a lot of people are banking on Daima, but I don't know, right? I'm just gonna say it's open-ended. I don't mind if it's Daima. I don't really care if it's not Daima at the same time, though. I just know that they have to succeed for part 2. I'm not gonna say the only way it can be a success is Daima, right? They can literally just give us very valiant, great units that counter, you know, UI Goku, make UI Goku a little bit. Like, they can give somebody the Vegito Blue mechanic, right? It's that simple, right? You know how Vegito Blue, he goes into Blue and UI Goku, he can't really dodge, right? He basically has to play the game again, right? If you run into Vegito Blue, it's like you can't really just rely on that auto counter and that auto dodge, right? You actually have to start playing again. They can literally just give that mechanic to the new character. It doesn't have to be something super huge or instrumental. Let's just hope that we get new mechanics with the units, right? Let's just so it can keep the fun of the game, the excitement of running these new characters alive, right? At this point, I don't have to keep this video any longer, right? This is really just what it is now, right? Turles was once very, very dominant. Gotenks is still really good, but he really needs a team, right? Evo Blue Vegeta is probably going to get value as soon as we get another Vegeta clan member who's really good. I mean, I'm not going to say that. But I mean, maybe one day we'll get God Vegeta, and God Vegeta is going to be very good, right? I know when Gohan drops, and when a new Gohan drops, is going to be peak. If they want to make a new #1 unit in the game, it's probably going to be a Goku unit. I mean, there's very, you know, obvious patterns, right? Gohan, he really could be #1 as well. Hopefully they, I really don't want to see Gohan for part 2. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to see Gohan for part 2. I don't really care as long as it's not Gohan, right? It could be even like a Buhan. I'd be down for like a Vegito Buhan, right? I definitely would be down for it. But I'm not gonna hold the video on too long. I love you guys. Let me know what you think of this tier list, and well, not a tier list, but this grouping of the meta. I'm very interested to see how part 2 shakes this pirate paradigm up, man. I'm very interested. I am very interested to see what they're gonna drop. That's gonna make UI Goku, you know, seem like a respectable character, right? Because right now he just seems like overpowered, right? Majin Vegeta, he's been in the game for a long time. He's still overpowered, right? He's just been aging like fine fucking wine, too.